heart beats just a little faster right now, doesn't it? As they stand alone right now. No cornermen. They're just ready to make the ring walk for the biggest fight that boxing can make.
From every block to every coast, it's your boy Shadow Ghost. And look, first of all, God bless anybody that takes their time out to watch any of my videos. Please hit the thumbs up, subscribe button, the notification bell for any upcoming videos to get notifications on them. With that, we gonna jump straight into it. JERMALL CHARLO, this is big bro now. JERMALL, now I'm about to start calling him JERMALL Cap Charlo, because first off, if you don't know the history, JERMALL CHARLO done called out David Benavidez, who campaigns at 168. JERMALL CHARLO campaigns at 160. David Benavidez turned around and said, "Oh, I am about that life, so what's good then?" And then JERMALL CHARLO turned around and said, "Well, I ain't fighting nobody that's under 24. You need to get vaccinated, yada, yada, yada." Well, David Benavidez had a fight this past weekend with Ellis, and JERMALL CHARLO must have been watching, because now he says he's ready. Now he says he done woke up the lion. Matter of fact, I'm gonna let y'all hear this shit for yourselves.
Do you see you and David Benavidez fighting?
Yeah. Let's make that fight happen. I'm gonna knock his little punk ass out. I promise that. I put that on everything I love. I give him about 4 rounds, 5 rounds. I knock him out about 5 rounds, 6 rounds, no more. He get hit too much. I'm powerful. I'll explode on him. Trust me. I do my thing. I've been doing this all my life. Put me in there. Put me in there with the I'm a lion, bro. Let's get it.
And there you have it. I mean, my man says, let's get it. Look, as a boxing fan, I want to see it. I know all boxing fans want to see this fight. I can't make a wholehearted prediction for numerous reasons. Number one, I don't know if JERMALL CHARLO is just capping. I'm not saying that he's afraid. I'm just saying that both brothers are very emotional fighters. They say things in the moment. Even when JERMALL CHARLO lost that controversial first fight against Tony Harrison, he even said it himself. He said, "Man, I don't even like to lose video games." So we're talking about very prideful guys right here, right? So, which brings me to my next point. Charlo says that David Benavidez gets hit way too much. Yes, he did have a controversial first fight with Robert Graville where he was dropped in the last round. He did have a rematch. He beat him clearly. But let's not act like JERMALL CHARLO doesn't have an issue when people go downstairs and hit him to the body.
And again now.
I think one of those body punches, whether it ended low or not, hurt Charlo.
Charlo getting attacked here. Derevyanchenko with high-quality stuff, really bringing it to JERMALL CHARLO, the champion here in round 8.
And Charlo was holding on there for a moment.
Yes, I think you're right, Al. I think that's the reason why he was holding.
And this is why I think it would be such a great fight. I mean, you look at the Derevyanchenko fight, right? If this was back in the day where fights went multiple rounds past 12, if it went like 15 rounds or something like that, Derevyanchenko was mounting a comeback. So yes, JERMALL CHARLO beat him, but we all saw what happened. He started fading as the fight went on, which leads me to my next point. JERMALL CHARLO's probably going to ask for a catch weight. I doubt it's going to happen because we all know that David Benavidez lost his strap. He lost his title on the scale at 168. Although he did say leading up to the fight and even after the fight with Ellis last weekend that from now on he will be training at Big Bear, where he feels like he gets a lot of peace, a lot of solitude, and he's able to make weight a lot easier. This brings me to my next point, because that means that they would be fighting at 168, and it will be the first time where JERMALL CHARLO will be fighting a naturally bigger fighter, a person that's naturally heavier than him, fighter that's taller than him, a fighter that has more reach and is a pressure fighter. And as we saw with Derevyanchenko, as the rounds went on, what happened? He was starting to fade, and Derevyanchenko was mounting somewhat of a comeback. On the flip coin to that, okay, we have JERMALL CHARLO, who has a shotgun-like jab, explosive hook, explosive uppercut. And if you saw in the David Benavidez fight, not just in all his fights, but even in the fight with Ellis last weekend, there are times where he will lean on the ropes, take a little breather, and he has no problem with taking a couple of shots to give a couple of shots. Well, you can't do that with JERMALL CHARLO. If you get caught, it's night-night. So it's a good fight. It's something that I want to see. I just cannot make a prediction right now because of JERMALL CHARLO's unstableness. He's just very unstable. Sometimes he says things in the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if next week he turns around and says he doesn't even want to fight David Benavidez anymore. He wants to fight somebody else. But moving on to other boxing news, I'm not sure if y'all heard by now, many have. Danny Garcia is planning to move up to 154. where he feels like he can have another shot at a title. He says he's always had a dream of becoming a 3-division time champion, which was at 140, 147, and now hopefully 154. Look, as a boxing fan, I don't just ride fighters and just say I like them without criticizing them. I like Danny Garcia, and I'm about to criticize him really bad. Let's just face it, 140 Danny Garcia was the best Danny Garcia that we're ever going to see. When he moved up to 147, his power did not transcend well. He was able to get a title at 147, which shows you the greatness of Danny Garcia. But I think him moving up to 154, he's definitely about to put himself in a position where he could become a gatekeeper. And for those that don't know what a gatekeeper is basically a person that is, when these young fighters are moving up and they're ready to see if they can fight in the top 10 or the top 5, they fight a gatekeeper, a person that tests their skills. And I feel like Danny Garcia is going to be put in a position where he might become a gatekeeper. And although his chin has always held up, he's had a rock iron chin. He's never been knocked out, put in a situation where the ref was going to stop the fight or the corner was going to throw in a towel. Him moving up to 154 and him being older and the type of style that he is a counterpuncher with very good punch placement, but he is not the counterpuncher like a Floyd Mayweather where he's slick, where he doesn't get hit and hits back. He's willing to take a punch to give a punch. And him moving up to 154, he's facing guys that have been there their whole career, guys that are very powerful. Not saying that guys don't move up in weight. A lot of fighters move up in weight. They do it all the time. I just feel like 154 is not a good move for Danny Garcia. I think he's going to be sluggish. He might be even slower, and he might be setting himself in a position where he might get knocked out. And at some point, he says he wants to become a champion. To become champion at 154, you would have to be a JERMALL CHARLO or a Brian Castano. And if JERMALL CHARLO and Brian Castano meet later on this year, I got JERMALL CHARLO beating him, which means he would have to beat JERMALL CHARLO to become a champion at 154. And I just don't see it at this current time in Danny Garcia's career. I hope I'm proven wrong. If he did prove me wrong, I would be the first one to make a video and be like, yo, listen, I was proven wrong. But I just don't see it happening. But with that, please tell me what y'all think in the comment section. Please hit the notification bell. Please hit the subscribe button. And until next time, this is Shadow Ghost, and I'm out.